Fatigue among workers across all fields of industry has been on the upswing in the past few years due to higher demand jobs, longer working hours, a disruption in the circadian rhythm, and an overall sleep deficit amongst workers. Fatigue takes into account the time of day, the number of hours awake, and the workload of the person affected. There's a difference between sleepiness and fatigue in that fatigue generally refers to the impairment in task performance. While sleepiness is physical in nature, there's also a psychological component to fatigue that can lead to decreased output and dangerous errors. In fact, over 10% of workplace injuries are due to fatigue, and nearly half of Americans admit to being too fatigued to safely perform their jobs. These numbers are alarming, especially when taking into account the studies done on fatigue for pilots and healthcare workers, who reported an increase in accidents and errors due to fatigue. The hazards of work fatigue are vast, with things like decreased motivation, longer reaction time, problems with memory and concentration, decreased motor skills, and poor judgment. Imagine a factory worker operating a large piece of machinery like a forklift. Normally, they would easily be able to perform their job responsibilities. However, when fatigued, they're more likely to crash into something or someone, causing damage and injury. In addition, workers suffering from fatigue are more likely to have a poor attitude and may get angry more easily at other people. Finally, productivity is greatly affected too, as workers lack the mental capacity to accomplish tasks at their usual rate. The causes of workplace fatigue can be divided into three main categories: physical load, environmental load, and mental load. The physical load includes factors such as posture, how much exertion is being put forth, and any repetitive movements. Think about a worker on a factory line whose job it is to sort a product coming down a conveyor belt. The way you stand, along with the repetition in sorting the items, would be examples of how physical load leads to fatigue. The environmental load are things in the surroundings that would add fatigue, like the temperature, light level, noise, and humidity. Finally, mental load is the work hours, job demands and stress, autonomy, and interpersonal relationships of the job. Some studies have shown that the most serious work accidents occur between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m., prime hours for workplace fatigue. No matter the cause, there are multiple steps that you could take to help combat work fatigue.